First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachah, Quadash. Double honors unto the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone, the bishops, all right, the sincere brothers pushing this word in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe, all right, the elect, 144,000 of the nation of Israel, all right, the body of Yahweh Shai. First off, let me read this here, Job 20:4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. All right, and I read that because I'm gonna play a snippet of this video here from Brighteon.com, in which you see it says Michael Yon joins Mike Adams to emergency warning over the invasion of the coming civil war. All right, so there's some information that the person he's interviewing is gonna mention. All right, and pretty much they got the saying, it's cool when I do it, it's a problem when you do it, fuck them. All right, that's a remix. All right, because it actually goes the other way. It's cool when they do it, it's a problem when I do it, fuck them. You know, but I just, through the spirit, remixed it. It's cool when I do it, it's a problem when they do it, fuck them. All right, so you're going to see Esau's hypocrisy, being that Esau is going to criticize and condemn the various immigrants, all right, from you know, you got the Northern Kingdom, all right, the so-called Latinos, Venezuelans, Mexicans, all right, Central and South Americans that's coming over the border here to America, as well as Russians, Chinese, you know, Syrians, Indians, you know, Africans, you name it. They're all funneling through the Darien Gap and trekking their way up here to North America in particular. And this individual is going to criticize them for doing that. But meanwhile, at, you know, his own admission, he's going to mention how he was in the military, and part of his job was to actually infiltrate other countries. All right, because they're stating that these nations, a lot of these immigrants coming here to America are actually coming here to infiltrate and destabilize the nation. But part of his job was to actually do the same thing to other countries. So that in itself is hypocrisy. All right, the hypocrisy of the Edomite. Matter of fact, that's going to be the title. Let me write that down. So, like, bear with me. All right. Once again, Job 20:4, it says, knowest not this of old, since man was placed upon the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. All right, so America was able to triumph in its wickedness, all right, when it was a military power, when it was a police of the earth, when it you know, had everything on lock. All right, Job 9:24. But now that is being unraveled via the technological advancements that these other nations have acquired by way of, you know, nuclear technology. All right, you know, they're not able to triumph in that no more. All right, America is being invaded. It's a third world country, becoming a third world country. It's pretty much being liquidated. Okay, It's not the military might of the earth, of the planet any longer. Okay, so that triumphing and that high that, American citizens and the government actually, were able to bellish in is no longer there. And now they're starting to complain. Okay? So they're being hypocrites because they want to point the finger at what these migrants are doing. Okay? But, America, via economic hitmen and its military, was doing the same thing to all the countries on the planet. But now it's a problem. It's cool when I do it, but it's a problem when you do it. Fucking. All right, so let me play this.
But I want to ask you specifically because of your military training, your special forces training in sabotage. I think you have special knowledge of this, or at least
You hear that? Sabotage. Okay. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see if I can spell this correctly. Hold on. I'm a horrible speller. Sabotage. Okay, that's right. Sabotage. It says deliberately destroy, damage, or obstruct something, especially for political or military advantage. All right. Early 20th century, from French, saboteur, kick with sabots, willfully destroy. What is sabot? Sabot, a kind of simple shoe shaped and hollowed out with a single block of wood, traditionally worn by French and Britain peasants, man. All right, that's funny. All right, blend to savate shoe. All right, boot. So pretty much, America. There's a movie. I think it was what's that movie? Damn, I forget the name of the movie. I think it's Fury. The movie Fury. It came out, 2015, 16, somewhere around there. It has a Shia LaBeouf and the Amalekite that played the Punisher. And one quote that brothers we used to say all the time was the boot in the heel. There was something they said in the movie, the boot in the heel. So that's all America has given these nations is the boot in the heel, man. For a long time, America has given these nations the boot in the heel. All right, sabotage. All right, so let's play this back.
Your military training, your special forces training in sabotage, I think you have special knowledge of this, or at least sabotage was one of the skill sets that you were trained in at target countries in order to, weaken their infrastructure and so on. I want to ask you this question. If I'm right, let's say there's 500,000 enemy combatants that are ready to go to do something in the United States. How much damage could just, let's say, 500 of them do in a city like Los Angeles? Just 500 dedicated, trained militants activating on the same day, not even coordinated with each other, just maybe small teams, 2 or 3 guys, but all of them at the same time. How much damage could they do to a city like LA?
Oh, extreme. I mean, even 5. I mean, once you identify what's called the critical nodes, right? And they'll do what's called a Carver matrix and that sort of thing. They'll identify, which targets that. A lot of these guys will already know that. For instance, they may be trained engineers. They may have support that already works. at the electric company or at the water works, or they may have support or auxiliary that has already worked there for years, right? They may have infiltrated 10, 15, 20 years ago, right? They could have, literally, they're not coming in tabula rasa. They're not coming in a blank slate. They're coming into a paved, like, for instance, these Chinese, many of the Fujian speakers, they go up to Flushing, New York. Many of the Mandarin speakers go to Brooklyn. They go to different places. You'll see people come in from the Darien and be up in Brooklyn and have a driver's license in like 10 days. I mean, they're not doing that flat-footed. They're coming into an ecosystem that already exists, right? So it's not like it's like they can come in and just be added to a team that already exists. Now, let me say something else.
Okay, go ahead.
When I was in Special Forces, I was on 2 different A teams, right?
All right, so he mentioned everything that these heathens can do, as far as weakening a infrastructure of America. All right, which a lot of those military age men, that's what they're here to do. Okay, that's coming across the border via the Darien Gap and so on and so forth. Now, he's going to go into give examples of, what he actually used to do. All right, so here comes the hypocrisy.
And I can say this now, it's been many years, but our missions that on my 2A teams that I trained for 3 years for these missions, was to parachute into Poland and hit certain targets. We did extensive training. I mean, I knew every details of those places. Had we done this, had we actually parachuted in, we knew exactly where the rails bifurcated. We knew exactly, we got tours of electrical facilities by engineers back in Germany and the United States, and how to do this, how to do that, you know what I mean? And that was just an A team. We weren't like electrical engineers. We weren't like mechanical engineers. You know what I mean? We were just trained soldiers. But some of these guys that come in and they're actual engineers and they work in power plants in some place like China or some place like Syria, they're going to be much more expert than I ever was as a Green Beret. And again, these are very smart people that time is on their side. They've had plenty of time to actually get people on the insides of these places, and they can easily take us off grid. I mean, that's child's play.
Yeah.
All right, there you got it. Bear with me 1 second. I got to do something. All right, Salakia. Okay, so there you got it. The hypocrisy of the Edomite. All right. Salakia, let me send this message real quick. I gotta send some information to a brother real quick. All right, So, continuing on, verse Job 20:6, it says, "Though his excellently mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he?" Because that's the end result of Esau Edom. All right, he triumphed in his wickedness, lived his life as a hypocrite, but his end result is going to be, destruction. All right, America is not going to be here forever. All right, he shall fly away as a dream and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. The eye also which saw him shall say, like it shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. All right, so his position as the ruler of the planet, America, Esau, Edom, as the ruler of the planet, the police of the earth, that position is not going to be reserved for him any longer. All right, upon Babylon being destroyed, that's it for the Edomite. All right, that power is not going to be transferred to Russia, okay, to any of the European countries, to where, okay, now the next group of Edomites get to rule and take over that hat, put on that hat. That's not going to be so. All right, because all Edomites is in the heathens, for that fact, is going into captivity. They're going into captivity, and Israel is going to be in power. All right. Let me see. Continuing. Let's get this here in Ezekiel 38:10. It says, "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, it shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought." All right. Now this is going into Gog and Magog, which is the so-called Russians. All right, this is a thought that's going to come into their mind pertaining to America. "And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates." Okay, because America, you see the situation going on right now in down there in Texas. You got the border, which is not fortified. All right, just freely walking over the Eagles Pass. It's a little strip of water that you can literally walk from Mexico, cross some shallow water, and you're in America with no border, no obstruction. Okay. So you got these Russians, these military age Russian men, amongst everybody else, from all different countries, literally just walking right over here to this land of unwalled villages. All right. It says to take a spoil and to take a prey, because that's the purpose of them coming over here to the Americas, or to America. It says to turn thine hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations. All right, so America accepting all these different countries, back in the immigrants that came back in the 1800s, 1700s, all right, 1900s. All right, the what that did was it pretty much formed a foundation of heathens being here in America, because you go to different states and you can find pockets of foreigners that have been here for generations, in formed communities. All right, so that's where these illegals is going. All right, these migrants is going to these communities that's already been established. Okay. It says, let me see, verse 12 again. It says, to take a spoil and to take a prey and to turn thine hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited. All right, because at one point in time, America was, not inhabited. Okay, but then it was inhabited by uh, the Northern Kingdom. Coming over here during the time of Hosea. Um, in the Assyrian Empire taking down the Northern Kingdom. All right, you had the Northern Kingdom that came here to the Americas. Okay, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations, because America is nothing but a melting pot of nations, of heathens. All right, which have gotten cattle and goods and dwell in the midst of the land. So these heathens came here and pretty much, were able to garner and generate wealth. All right. Sheba and Dedan, Sheba and Dedan are both Hamitic nations. All right. You got a lot of actual Africans, military age Africans amongst those Russians and those Chinese coming here to the Americas. And the merchants of Tarshish, all right, Tarshish is talking about the Spanish, with all the young lions thereof, shall say unto thee, art thou come to take a spoil? Hast thou gathered thy company to take a prey, to carry away silver and gold, and to take away cattle and goods, and take a great spoil? Because that's the point of them coming here to the Americas is to pretty much liquidate this place. It's a free fall on America. All right. And ultimately, those military aged men at some point in time is going to be activated, and they're going to pretty much terrorize America like America's has, terrorized the rest of the planet. Okay. Now let me read this article here from RT.com. And it says, we are attacking Iran, Netanyahu. All right. Because once again, the Gog and Magog, the Russians, along with other nations. Matter of fact, when you read up, this is Ezekiel. I'm gonna start at 1. Ezekiel 38:1. It says, and the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him. All right, Gog and Magog is the Russians currently. And say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. And you see that Russia is becoming that powerhouse that it used to be under the USSR. All right, it's no longer going to be, passive and sit back, and idle. Is actually going to, start doing things in the earth. Okay, it says, and all thine army, and horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with buckler and shield, all of them handling swords. So it's pretty much beefing up its military. It says Persia, all right, which Persia today is the so-called Iranians. Ethiopia, all right, and Libya, with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands in the house of Togarmah and the north quarters and all his bands and many people with thee. Okay? And be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So Russia is going to serve as a guard unto these nations, various nations. Okay? So the Gomer is referring to Turkey, okay, Persia, Ethiopia, Libya, all right, Africa, okay. So the and I believe, what is Togarmah? I think that might be like we're gonna find out. I think it might be let me see. Yeah, Armenia. All right, the region of Armenia. So that's what's happening, man. Okay, so you got the Russians, and matter of fact, the Russians and the Iranians just linked together to hold a a meeting for that, for cybersecurity and things of that nature. All right, so with as Netanyahu said, we are attacking Iran. Iran is not just going to sit back idle and allow the Israelis to attack them. Okay, that's not going to happen, man. So here it says Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said that Israel is already carrying out direct attacks on Iran and is making every possible effort to prevent Tehran from attaining nuclear weapons. Okay. It says answering a reporter's question in Tel Aviv on Thursday about why Israel is conducting attacks on Iran's proxies rather than attacking the country directly, Netanyahu replied, "Who says we are not attacking Iran? We are attacking." Okay, so that's pretty much that. I'll put this in the description box, this article. But with these gutter rats attacking Iran, all right, that's gonna force, because as it says, the proxies, its proxies is not the focal point. Iran itself is. So if Israel is attacking Iran directly, Iran, as well as Russia, knows that America is pretty much the head that they're gonna attack. Okay. Matter of fact, let me see. There was something that was stated in here that was noteworthy. It mentioned where is it at? It might be this article. It might be something else. So like, I think it might have been a different. Yeah, it was a different article. Salaki. All right, but pretty much, if Iran is attacking directly, if Israel directly attacks Iran, that means that Iran and these other nations, Russia in particular, and China, all right, because they're all linked up with the BRICS. They're going to attack Israel, excuse me, and also the nation that's funding Israel, that is the military might of Israel, which is America. So everything going on in the Middle East is gonna force America to pretty much be a focal point of the Middle Eastern nations, aggression. All right. This is Jeremiah 51:6. It says, "Flee out of the midst of Babylon," because these nations is the proxy armies is pretty much going to be moved out the way. All right, and the big dogs is going to have to roll the sleeves up and get to work. All right, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of Yahweh's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. So you're gonna have more nations. All right, the heathens that are gathered here. While some is coming, the military aged men from all over the world that's coming here to America in this civil war, as that brews up and gets real hot. While people had the opportunity, these nations that came here to get wealth, and as we read in Ezekiel 38. They're gonna get the fuck up out of here, man, and go back to wherever the hell they came from. They still got family in whatever countries they came from. All right, when the Civil War gets cracking, they ain't gonna want no parts of that. They're gonna go right back to wherever the hell they came from, because the countries where they came from are primarily inhabited by those respective peoples. But here in America, it's a melting pot of who knows what. All right. Babylon hath been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken her wine, therefore the nations are mad. All right. So these nations, dibbled and dabbled and took on democracy and the American political form of, ruling the country. Took on presidents and things of that nature, and it ain't worked. All right, so therefore they're mad. All right, it says Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her, if so be she may be healed. All right, we would have healed Babylon, but she's not healed. Forsake her and let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. All right. So the bullshit that America has, spewed out and promoted in the earth has come to a point where the Lord is not pleased with it. And he's going to use the armies of the earth, the nations of the earth, to exact judgment on this place. Okay. There's nothing Esau can do here in America that's going to, quell the situation, going to pacify these nations' anger. All right. There's no the border situation, whatever they want to try and do with the border system, that's not going to work. All right. America's in debt, printing more money, hiking interest rates, and none of that's going to work. Okay. It says, Yahweh hath brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of Yahweh, our power. All right. And so that's part of what we do by bringing out this information and funneling it through the scriptures, is declaring to the nation of Israel, hey, this is what the hell the Lord about to do. All right, get right. America is going to be smoked with thermonuclear missiles. Okay. It says, make bright the arrows, gather the shields. Yahweh hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes. All right, which the Medes is referring to Iran. Okay, because where the ancient Medes dwelt is where the Iranians is currently dwelling. It says, for his device is against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of Yahweh, the vengeance of his temple. All right. So the Lord is going to destroy Babylon because of what they have done to the Lord's chosen people. All right, you Israelites. Okay. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, Seminole Indians. All right. Because of what Esau has done to his chosen people here in the Northern Hemisphere, around the world, but here in particular the Northern Hemisphere, which the Apostle Tahar has been, mentioning a lot, that lately, that emphasizing the destruction that's going to happen here in America and the land of Israel. All right. So America is going to be judged for that. Verse 13, it says, verse 12, it says, set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon, make the watch strong, set up the watchmen, prepare the ambushes, for Yahweh hath both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. O thou that dwellest upon many waters. All right, America puts his nose in everybody's business around the world. All right, got all these over 800 military bases around the world. All right, abundant in treasure, thine end is come, and the measure of thy covetousness. All right, so Esau's greed is part of the reason why he's going to be destroyed. All right, it says, Yahweh of hosts has sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men as with caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee. That's why all these military-aged men are funneling through the border, millions of them, to destroy this place. All right, to promote civil war, to cause civil war. All right, and I mean, that's pretty much the point right there. So yeah, man, Esau's hypocrisy is being turned back on him. Here it is. You went to countries and nations and destabilized them, but now that it's happening to you, it's a problem. All right. So that concludes the lessons, Lord willing. This was edifying. Until next time, shalom.